want to show you how easy it is to change the oil on the John Deere tractor. Now, most of the concepts we have here can apply to most John Deere tractors. Now, every tractor is a little bit different. I happen to have the S240, so that when I open the hood, I have the tractor secure. But when I open the hood, I'm lucky in that I have the oil, the intake valve, I have the filter, and the drainage all on the same side, all together. Other models might have them on the opposite side or different sides. It all depends on what you want to do. But let me show you how easy it is to do the S240. The easiest thing might be changing the oil. The toughest thing might be finding the parts for the oil. A suggestion is go to your manual, look up your manual. Some of the manuals won't even have it. I had to go online to the John Deere online and look up the model number and find the parts. And then I cross-checked it and double-checked it. But just FYI, sometimes the hardest part of changing the oil, finding the parts. Now this 240 has this panel here that kind of protects it. It's really just a plastic panel. We take our 5/16 wrench and we're able to unscrew it, and the panel removes, and this gives us easy access to the drainage, the filter, and the fill. So that makes it pretty easy. So now we're going to drain it. Just a quick review on the parts we need: the oil fill, the oil filter, and the oil drainage. Because draining it never goes smooth, I'm just going to throw a tarp under it, and then I happen to have an extra large drainage bucket, but we're going to put it under there. Most of the times it's going to start dripping, it's going to run on the frame. So what I want to do is at least take a rag or two and shove it just right under there, so we know we can get the drainage. Now in this case, it's very simple. It's a twist off, and you literally twist it off, and we're going to let it drain for a little bit. Now remember, it will hold a quart and a half of oil, so watching it drain, you should try to have a solid cord in here. I mean, our oil wasn't low, but it was on that lower end. And sometimes it helps if the tractor is elevated. It'll help it drain it faster, but we got time. Also, you might want to open up the lid, and it lets air in, and it will also help drain it faster. So if you just open the intake valve and just let it drain. While it's draining, I will now take my filter and I'll just double check it. I want to make sure I got the right filter. In this case, this is a John Deere AM 1254-24, and when I look on the filter itself, it says the same thing, 1254-24, perfect. So I know I got the right one. And I also want to double check inside, just make sure it's the right filter inside in case somebody pulled a fast one. But yep, very good. I'm all set. Also, while I'm waiting to drain, I'm also going to check out the oil. Now, I happen to buy the John Deere oil. I just went to the local Lowe's, and I was able to pick up the filter and the oil there. And I just decided to go with the 1030, but there is a list. They will show you in the manual. There's some variations. You can get 530, you can get 1040 at 540. So there's a few variables you can use. You don't have to use the John Deere oil. You could use the standard. I just happened to be there and look it up, and so I grabbed it. As you can see, having the rag is not a bad thing. See how the oil, it will drip off and it'll run, and then it'll run onto your frame, and then obviously it'll drain along your frame and just make a mess. So having the rag is a pretty good idea. Just another little hint to keep it clean. If you're OCD like I am, and you really want to get it clean, you could take a little bit of a fresh oil. Just pour it in there a little bit, just to help flush it. See it coming out? Now we look at it and it looks clean. So I think we've got most of the dirty oil out. So I think we're in good shape. Okay, now we're ready to take the filter off. We have it pretty much drained, and there's probably a little oil in the filter too, but that's okay. We'll let it drip. I'll put the rag under there so we can catch anything that might be coming out. Now, depending on how tight it, who's the last one to put it on, you might be able to do it by hand, or you might need a wrench. So we're going to try it by hand first. Yeah, we were able to just get it turned and get it started. Okay, yeah, look at the oil pouring out now. Yep, that's the oil in the filter. Okay, we'll let that baby drain. And again, we checked our filter, 125424, and we've got on the new one, 125424, so we know we got the right one. So let's take our clean oil. I'm just going to dab a little bit on my finger and just rub the seal, just to keep it lube so it's not cracked or sealed. As we're doing this, we do want to check the old filter. We want to make sure that the seal is intact and there's no part of the old seal on there. As I look around here, I see it pretty clean. Let's just take a rag here, clean this baby up a little bit. Because I want to also lube the inside a little bit with fresh oil. Put that on. Now, you want it tight so when it makes connection, and then you want to turn. They suggest in the manual another half turn. So if I mark the writings there, I'll turn it a half turn, and you may have to play with it a little bit and feel how you're tight, but I got it on there pretty hand tight, pretty sealed, and it's ready to go. Let's take our drainage out of there. Yeah, that made more of a mess on the frame than the drainage. So let's clean our drainage hole. You don't want to drop it in there. Now we gotta wipe it off. And this one, it gets messy, but that's all right. Clean it up. The oil is slippery. Let's put our drainage. Get the threads going good. Get a tight fit. We're ready to go. Okay. Okay, I'm getting ready, and I'm going to use a funnel, but the funnel hasn't been used in a year because I change oil once a year. So I want to make sure it's clean inside. So I'm just going to run the rag through there, make sure it's nice and clean, and it looks good. So now you can put it in there. It calls for 1.5 quarts. So put it in. Now the manual calls for 1.5 quarts, so I put 1 quart in. So using the side level, we're going to look, and we want to take it down to the halfway point. So we want to take it down to about there. So let's just keep it. And of course, it's hard to tell, but you'll be able to tell. And another secret is you could put a light on it and the light would help you. But there I am. Oh yeah. Well, it's hard to tell, but we're up to between the 3rd and the 4th dot. So we're going to go with that. We're going to live with that. So now what I want to do is I want to turn it on just to circulate the oil, make sure it's in everywhere, and then check it again. So let's just fire it up. 3/4 of a tank. So we're in good shape. We're good. I'm going to live with that. And now we can put it back together real quick. All we got to do is put our shield back together. It's really a heat shield, and it's very simple. We just line it up with the 2 knobs and screw it in. And there you have it. How easy was that? That's pretty easy. Hey, I hope this helped you save time and save money. You don't have to take it to the dealer. You can change it. Now, they talk about maybe changing it at so many hours. You could write down the hours and log it, or like I do it every year. Once a year, do it in the spring or fall, just to take care of it, so you know it's done. So I know it's done for 2024. Hey, thanks for watching. Hope you learned something. Thanks for watching. I'm Ken Deininger with another backyard project. Now we can go cut the grass. Let's go. Let's go back to work.